spending billions of dollars on baseball players. Without Adrian, this show wouldn't happen, and without him, my car probably wouldn't run and look as good as it does. So I want to thank him and thank you for being here. So once again, we're getting close, really close to UNM football. Basketball team is back practicing, both men and women. Soccer team's going to play this weekend. It's a great time to be a Lobo. So we're going to take a short break. We're going to sell you some cool stuff. Stay with us, and I'll be right back with our special guest.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks. Eagle Greens and Turf are a family-owned and operated business with over 25 years of experience in the home improvement industry. They are your exclusive dealer of celebrity green, synthetic putting greens, and artificial turf. They also have artificial turf that is specifically designed for your pets. Eagle Greens and Turf are proud sponsors of ProV Networks and can make your lawn green all year long at 505-273-2744.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Kurt Roth again. This is the 505 Sports Venture Foundation program. And as we went to the break, I was telling you, mentioning how close we are to Lobo football. So I recently discovered another source of local reporting. Longtime New Mexico graduate, class of 1977. I have looked at off and on the Daily Lobo, the campus newspaper, since 1973. And it came to my attention, not the physical paper, because I still can get that. There you go. The offices are there. Good shot there, Adrian. I came to my attention while following football, being on the practice, that the Daily Lobo is covering football on a daily basis. And the coverage has been really exceptional. So I asked around our buddy Sean at the Journal, Grammar, Portnoy, who's this guy writing? And I found out. I got him here. So I want to introduce Edrin Garcia. We'll call him Edge, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Lobo football beat reporter for now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we get to the content, before we get to the team, we have a lot to talk about. You're an Albuquerque guy.
Yes.
Where are you from?
So I'm from here. I'm from Albuquerque. I went to Sandia High School. I played football the majority of my entire life. It's been a staple in my life with family, with friends, and it's something that I want to continue staying involved in.
Okay, so you're in, what year are you at UNM? I'm
starting my sophomore year.
Starting your sophomore year. Yeah. So you're out, you're a local guy. Your goal, I guess, will be a degree in journalism.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Local kid, played football, and you're a football fan. I think you've mentioned you're a Denver Bronco fan.
Yes, sir.
How did that happen? Just because proximity?
Since I came out of the womb, honestly. No, I credit that to my father. He was a big Broncos fan, and it was just hammered to me every day. I didn't get to pick and choose, but I'm grateful for it.
All right. So you're a Bronco fan, and we're not going to go down that road too much. What's the prognostication for the Broncos this year?
I'm always wanting to get my hopes up, but I try to stay real, stay level-headed. I think they should be good this year. I know it's probably a Super Bowl or bust expectations.
Super Bowl or bust. I'm a Giant fan.
Yeah.
Come on, we have 500 expectations.
Not used to that, yeah. We'll see how Bo Nix's ankle looks. Jalen
Quarterback,
Waddle
the
addition.
quarterback is
Yeah.
key. And we had some rookie moments or young guy moments last
Yeah.
year, and now injury. He seems to be fine though, right?
I think he's good to go. I think he's good to go.
All right, so enough of the NFL. That starts in earnest exhibition tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of games. The Broncos play tomorrow night?
They play Friday night.
Friday night. Giants play tomorrow night. I don't get excited, except one side note, and I should have mentioned this in the beginning. If you're paying attention to Lobos, our guy Bankston from last year had a couple of kick return, ran a kickoff back in the Rate Bowl that got the Lobos back in the game. Was an undrafted free agent signed by the New York Football Giants and is having an excellent camp. So we're going to see DB run back some kicks tomorrow night, apparently. Maybe get some third down action, see if he can catch a swing pass. So if you are a Lobo fan, check out what happens with the Giants tomorrow night, and let's keep our fingers crossed for DB. Okay. So now is this your first year covering football for the Lobos, or did you do it last year?
So at the very end of last year,
Okay.
I was able to cover the game against Air Force and cover the game against San Diego State. Obviously, being a full-time student, you can't get to everything or attend everything. So I was able to get my first experience there, and then I started covering the end of spring. So I went to a couple practices, I covered the spring game, and ever since then it's been full go.
Okay. So are you there basically every day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And today we're Wednesday. They practice this afternoon, or they're off today?
They're actually off today.
They're off today. Right. I get the schedule. It's hard for me to keep track. I'm not even sure if today's Wednesday. All right, so they're off today, and we are what? Just over 3 weeks away from the start.
Yes,
right?
sir.
September 5th.
Yeah.
And that's a home game that's Central or Eastern Michigan. I can't get those teams.
Central Michigan.
Right. I had a buddy who played at Eastern. I can never. One's the Chippewas. I don't know what Central is. Central the Chippewas. I don't know. So we've got that. Then we've got Mercyhurst, and then we lead into Game 3 in Norman, Oklahoma. Okay. So tell me, other than you're on the field at practice because and you have a handle on X.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
It's by Edge Garcia. I'm there posting practice updates from anything from 7-on-7 periods, 11 periods, just kind of giving everybody the rundown, everything you need to know in order to be ready for the season.
Well, there you go up on the screen. That's from the newspaper itself, that shot. But you are active on both X. Are you on Instagram as well?
I'm on Instagram as well.
What's that handle?
That is also by Edge Garcia.
By Edge Garcia.
Yes, sir.
That's okay. So guys, if you are guys and gals, we have a lot of women who follow Lobo football because of a lot of circumstances. We'll talk more about the leader who just celebrated his 49th birthday, Coach Eck. Great follow. Sean does an incredible job. Edge does an incredible job. I've kind of got just turned on to him in the last couple of 3 weeks. Gotta follow, and before he moves to Colorado and covers the Broncos, we've got to support this kid. All right, so now we've got 3 weeks. Before we get to the break in the next 30 seconds, what does in your mind does the practices change as we get closer to the season? Is there a difference, or the workouts kind of maintain the same continuity?
To begin, fall camp definitely not as chippy as it got last night,
Okay.
Which we'll have a story on here soon. But the full pads were put on last night for the first time. Players are thumping. Energy levels are at an all-time high. They're ramping up really well to the opener.
Okay. Well, there you go. Ramping up. We are so excited. It's been a long time since Albuquerque was this jazzed about football. Anyway, we're going to take a break. Going to try to sell you some stuff. Adrian's going to pump up some ads, and we'll be back with Edge. Stay with us.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Part 2 of our show here today with Edge Garcia, Daily Lobo reporter. Also, we talked about how you're on X and Instagram. People can access the Daily Lobo online. Where do they go for that?
So you could just go to dailylobo.com. All of the articles written by all of our great journalists are all there. News, sports, opinions, reviews. It's all some good stuff.
Yeah, go there, guys. I mean, a great source. Also, you're supporting young journalists by following them. I imagine that it's easy to get feedback if people wanted to give feedback about what they're reading, which I think is vital as these guys and gals are students. So if you're a reader and you have a question or you have a comment, then, obviously we want to be civil here. But I think the students would love feedback. I have hooked in. I signed up for emails the other day because I was excited about reading Edge's articles. And it's just local journalism. You'll know what's going on the school. You give kids support, and you support UNM. So sign up. Go get the Daily Lobo. Okay, I just want to make a side note because I'm personally involved. You wrote a little story about our TBT team a week or so ago. You do venture into other sports other than football?
Yeah, big basketball fan as well. Those are the 2 primary focuses, but I do want to broaden my ability to cover other sports.
Okay. Well, I appreciated that. I almost fell off my chair when I read the article because I was on the bench for those games in Texas. I have an Kansas, Wichita, Kansas. Texas was when we smoked Texas Tech a couple of years ago. We had a 14-point lead in the deciding game and just couldn't close it. But that was a great story. I was like, okay, who's covering TBT? Grammer did a great job remotely. And you wrote that article, had my buddy KJ quoted and a couple other quotes. Really good job. All right. So enough. We got to get back to Lobo football. A couple of 3 weeks away from the opener. Big question, obviously, and we have a lot of talent. Anyone who's followed Lobo football is just got to be impressed by the depth we have, not only compared to last year, compared to every year. Quarterback situation. Our starting quarterback is still throwing lefty.
Yeah.
He's taking all the drills. Yeah. He's getting behind the center or in the shotgun when we're doing the running drills. He's the main guy, but he can't throw right-handed yet.
No, he stays mentally involved and physically involved as well as anyone. His smarts, I think, is what separates him from everyone else. But he has an elbow injury that's still, bothering him, as Coach Ed said after practice, I believe yesterday on Tuesday. And the quarterback competition is still pretty even. There's all 3 guys have their pros. They've all had their moments. It's only 6 days into practice, so it's hard to deem somebody as a starter right now.
Sure.
But I know Coach wants to find one out.
Well, all right. So for Jack, for us, for fans who covered last year, every once in a while, his arm's not that strong. The guy wins football games. The guy just wins football games. And from pee-wee yaffle football, pee-wee football, high school, college, NFL, you have quarterbacks who may not be the greatest physically who just win games. And then you have guys who are incredibly physically who can't win games. We've all seen that if you follow. Jack Lane's one of those guys, he can win games. So it'll be a tough loss if he can't get on the field. Now, you mentioned that there's competition and there's kind of 3 front runners at this point. And Eck has gone out of his way not to anoint anyone as the front runner. But he did say, and I think I saw it on your feed, that he's going to make a choice pretty soon to get the reps. As it's almost like next week he's going to name someone, no?
He wants to have somebody in place at least 2 weeks before the season.
Okay, so 2 weeks before the season. I'm bad at math. I think it's a week from next Saturday.
We're getting close, yeah.
So it would be 3 weeks from Saturday would be. Okay. So we've seen our guy, we have 2 new faces, at least who have played games. And we've got our 6th or 7th year guy, Lobstein, coming back, who was in a Connecticut sporting goods store a couple of 3 weeks ago, and then got the call that he was eligible. For Lobo fans, that's a tough kid. He played in a rape bowl with a broken leg and made some big plays. You have I'm not asking you to pick, but let's critique the other 2 guys. Tell me about the other 2 guys. What do you see?
Yeah, so Luke Moga's an Oregon transfer, 4-star coming out of high school. And, he's been somebody throughout practice that has been really good with decision making. His athleticism is really well. Throwing on the run is really well. I really like what I've seen out of him. And then Toa Fa'ave as well. He's super, super quick. Pocket mobility is really nice. He's got some real zip on the ball. Those are 2 guys that I think athletically are really appealing. Lobstein as well, but he's more of a hard-nosed runner. He'll lower his shoulder and go pick up some 2 rough yards for a first down.
Right.
But the 2 other guys, I think, have really some high upside, and we just need to see more consistency out of them before one of them gets named a starter.
Well, it's not unusual, especially at the college level, to alternate, to have more than, and Eck did it last year. I mean, he would switch out. Part of it is deception.
Yeah.
Like, now you've got the running guy in a passing situation. What are we going to do? So do you see that being a possibility with at least 2 of them being in and out?
I know for sure Lobstein is going to have a role just because of the value he brings in being able to run the ball. When you have a 4th and 1 and you need to get that 1 yard, Lobstein's a guy I think they're going to look forward to. But in terms of running 2 quarterbacks at the same time, I think it's too early to deem something like that. But I do know they want to have 1 guy in place where they're not really thinking about whether or not they need 2 guys to be taking the snap and throwing the ball.
Right. So that's something to look forward to. Read the journal, read the Lobo every day. Check them out. You're going to get the day-to-day update on this quarterback battle. All right, we're going to come back for one more segment. We're going to talk about the rest of the team in a speed drill. Stay with us. We're going to sell you some more really cool stuff. We'll be back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We've been trained, conditioned, and rewarded for doing more. But people weren't designed for all that doing. Our bodies need to settle into nothing from time to time. Into nothing at all. In a world obsessed with doing more, we invite you to undo.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Third and final segment. Edge Garcia, Daily Lobo beat football reporter. Follow him. Subscribe to the Daily Lobo. Get it in your inbox. Up-to-date stories with photographs, movies, or film, whatever they call it, digital coverage of the Lobos football. All right, we talked about the quarterback battle. Again, more depth than any Lobo team I can remember since the 70s, where when I went to UNM, we had 9 guys go to the NFL for my 4 years. Okay. My biggest question, one of my favorite guys who statistically underperformed, might have been hurt, Scott Tree Humphrey. What do you see?
Physically, he's huge. You would think he's a linebacker. I think he's primed to have a huge season. I really like what I've seen through him throughout practice. I talked to him during the spring, and he just talked to me about how excited he is to be out there, to be healthy. I know he has some goals he wants to reach. He's going to be a great player.
Yeah, I honestly believe I got to know him when he got here. I think the kid has NFL potential. I don't want to put the jinx on anybody, but he's that physically. He can catch the ball. He's a super tough kid. I think they publicly underplayed the injuries he played with last year. I think you'll see a great performance out of him. Great statistics, great results. All right, before we go, what else? Who else do we have in the backfield that we should look for?
So Cameron Matthews is a Memphis transfer. He's somebody who brings a ton of energy when he walks out onto the practice field. He's the first guy you hear yelling. He's really the energy setter. And Kiefer Sibley, who's actually somebody who had a really good day as of late. He's also got quick speed. I think all 3 guys really mesh well together. I think all 3 of them are going to get playing time. I do know they want to continue finding more rhythm in the passing game between those 3 guys.
Big deal, right.
And so it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they rotate. I do think Scott Trey is going to be kind of that 1A option. He's going to be the downhill kind of guy. But Cameron Matthews and Kiefer Sibley are 2 guys that to definitely keep your eyes on.
Okay, base foundation of any team really is the line play. Offensive line looks pretty good so far.
Yeah, so they're bringing back 4 guys from last year. And Cole Millward, who I talked to last week, appears to be the starting left tackle. He's had a couple great practices as of late. But I'm a huge fan of Malik Alian, the guard, Caden Robinette, Tyler Lawrence has been great, and then Jay Martassi as well. All of those guys, I think they've communicated really well. The pass protection has looked good during team periods. It should be a strength for the team.
Also, defensive line looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Now we've gotten some help that wasn't expected.
Yeah, so Brett Carhu is going to be back for his 5th year. He's somebody that brings a ton of energy. His ability to bend off the edge is very apparent. He was second in the team in sacks last year behind Philadelphia Eagles new draftee Keyshawn James Newby. Brian Booker, I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. He's a huge presence in the middle, really good against the run. He told me during the spring he wants to lead the conference in sacks.
Okay.
I think they want to get more interior pressure. Xavier Slayton is a guy that they moved in the interior as well. Darren Agu, somebody who has got amazing size.
Right. Physically looks like an NFL player.
Yes. He's going to be, I think, a really good player. I mean, the depth guys as well. Jalen Charles has been really good for them. I think even when you look at the guys who maybe not see the field as much, it gives you confidence knowing that, hey, if somebody were to go down or they need fresh bodies out there, you're not going to see much of a drop-off in terms of the production.
Well, and then we go from the defensive line to the linebacker core, anchored by the preseason Defensive Player of the Year related to our coach. And one of my favorite guys' story is Mercury Swing.
Yeah.
What do we see in the linebackers?
Yeah, those 2 I think are going to be kind of the heart and soul of the defense. They're both super, super smart. They fly around the ball. The closing speed is very apparent. I talked to Mercury the other day. He talked about how they want to get better in pass coverage. They want more INTs. They know they need to get more turnovers. And the guys behind them too, Clay Martineau, he's a Memphis transfer. He has been he's been popping. He's been flashing a lot in practice. They're bringing him off the edge as well. And then Nick Wheeler as well, somebody who has great athleticism. It'll be good to see.
Always a concern, if you've watched Lobo football for years, always a concern is the defensive backs. We seem to always have relatively smaller guys but when they get matched up one-on-one down the stretch of games, have a problem. What do we got back there this year?
So I think the safety room is really deep this year. Austin Brawley, Tavion Combs are the two guys that I think will probably see the field a lot. Drew Speech physically is very, very NFL caliber. He's somebody who has a lot of good range. So that room I think will be really good, and like I mentioned before, they want to create more turnovers, so it'll start there as well. The corners, they have the Cincinnati transfer, who will be starting outside next to Frankie Edwards.
Right.
Armani Arnold is the transfer. Those are two guys that have been making plays throughout camp. And like you said, the depth is really, really good. Jameer Torres is another guy that's been a standout so far.
All right, so the only thing we haven't, we're not sure about special teams. I think both the kicking and the punting jobs are up for grabs still, correct?
Yeah, the kicking job is, I think, a three-man race right now. No clear answers yet. They've all been consistent. Few misses here and there, but it's practice, so better to miss than and not, in the games, right? So, but we should get clear answers as we move closer.
My good buddy Cade Keith is looking good as tight end. We have a couple other tight ends. Receiver core is a little open, though, huh? With injuries and whatnot.
Yeah, so the receiving core, they've got a lot of guys, I think, this year. Last year, they only had 4 wide receivers catch the ball, and 2 of those guys are no longer on the team. So they have a lot of young guys, DJ Darling, Messiah Mingo, Balin George, 3 freshmen that I think have played really well. Sean Miller, Zael Smith, Cater Diop. I mean, they've got guys all across the board that I think are going to have roles. It's not clear who exactly the starting 2 or 3 will be. UNLV transfer Troy O'Meara is currently rehabbing still. He's made significant progress, and I do know they want to have him healthy for the season opener.
All right, well, listen, we're up against it. I hope you enjoyed the show. Intro to Edge, Daily Lobo, check it out. He's on Instagram, he's on X. We're excited. Just over 3 weeks, we're going to kick it off. I'm Kurt Roth, 505sports.org. Check us out, and we'll see you in a week or 2 before the season. Thanks for being here. Cool.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get